Hey everyone, welcome back with a new lecture with quality control, quality assurance training course. And you should know at the beginning that this training course is not for the experienced stuff, but for beginners and the student in the college. If you have this subject inside your college, or you have a project about quality control, quality assurance, this training course will be very useful for you. Today's lecture will be around quality control program. In any lab, you have different methods for analysis of your target analytes, and you need to evaluate these methods to ensure the performance of the method. So you have to validate or verify this method, as we explained in details in the course of method validation and verification and measurement uncertainty calculation. But after that, what you should do every day with every sequence, you need to ensure that the result is still valid and the method is still valid, and to ensure the performance of the method and performance of the instrument and the capability of your stuff. So you need quality control program, which divided into internal quality control and external quality control. Internal quality control, anything will be done inside the lab every day with every sequence, and this is continuous to ensure the performance of the method for the long term. But external quality control, something will be done by organization from outside the lab, not from the lab. So that will be done maybe one time per year, and we will explain everything here in the internal and external quality control. Internal quality control, such as calibration, verification, blank sample, spike sample, or lab fortified matrix. In some laboratory we use according to the guidelines. Some guidelines say lab fortified matrix, or some others saying spike sample, but same at the end. Matrix effect, if required, matrix if there is effect from the matrix on target analytes, and lab fortified matrix duplicate. That's not in every lab, not in every guideline, but in some laboratories they use lab fortified matrix duplicate or duplicate sample. Sample spiked with known concentration will be run 2 times in the same sequence. And internal standard, which is very important in some cases, not for all analytes, and control chart, which is very important to ensure the performance of the method for the long term. External quality control, such as inter-lab comparison sample, and PT or proficiency test sample, CRM or certified reference material sample, and PM or preventive maintenance that you will do by another organization or by the manufacturer of the instrument for the instrument itself. So every single point here will be explained in details in the next lectures, inshallah. First, we will start with the internal quality control program and calibration preparation. Calibration is very important for the instrument, not for the method, but for the instrument is very important. You should ensure the accuracy and the reliability of measurements of all routine samples by using calibration. Calibration involves comparing the instrument response with known reference standard. So for your target analytes, you will prepare some standard concentrations. You have some standards, and you will prepare standard concentrations, different concentrations, and you will run on the instrument. For each concentration you will get, for each standard concentration that you run, you will get a peak. The area under peak is the response for this concentration, and after that you will get the response against standard concentration. As example, 1 microgram per liter will get a response, 5 microgram per liter you will get the response, and then by running these concentrations and add to your instrument, you will get calibration curve. Calibration curve will be used to ensure the accuracy and the reliability of measurements, because any sample will be analyzed after that will be compared here. As example, if you have sample containing target analyte with the concentration is, as example, 6 microgram per kilogram, and you have 1, 5, 10, whatever your calibration standards, so here you will get 5, and here 10, and here whatever other concentrations. This sample concentration will be compared here, so you will get here, as example, this is 5, So this will be 6. So very important to prepare your standard concentration in a very good way without any mistake, because any mistake in calibration standard preparation will affect also on the reliability or accuracy of sample results. First point, which is very important, you should use suitable solvent during your calibration standard preparation. Suitable solvent to prepare from the stock standard that you have. Stock standard, sometimes you have liquid standards and sometimes you have powder standards according to the analyte you analyze. So for liquid standard or powder standard, you should use the suitable solvent. Can be according to the manufacturer instruction. From the standard that you have, you will have a certificate. In this certificate, you will find that this standard prepared in acetonitrile or whatever suitable solvent for this. So you will prepare after that the intermediate or working standards from this using this solvent. And sometimes you have to find the suitable solvent for your compounds, especially in case of solid standards or powder standards. In case of liquid standard, very easy. You have the stock standard concentration with the certificate, and you have also the solvent which is suitable for this. Then you will just dilute the stock standard. So here is only dilution for the standard concentration here. As example, you have stock standard 10 milligram per liter or 10 ppm, and you need to dilute or prepare intermediate standard. So you will start by 1 milligram per liter, 1 ppm. You will not go for 10 microgram per liter or 10 ppb. You can make serial dilution. So 1 milligram per liter in 10 ml. You will prepare in 10 ml flask from 10 milligram per liter. So you need to add 1 ml. So in the flask you will add 1 ml plus 1 ml standard, stock standard, which is 10 milligram per liter plus 9 ml from the suitable solvent that you selected. Then from 1 you will prepare 100 microgram per liter. Then from 100 you will prepare 10 microgram per liter if you need this. But if you will prepare your calibration from 100, it's okay, you don't need to go for 10. If you will prepare your calibration from 1 milligram per liter, you don't need to go for this serial dilution. So you will just dilute the stock standard in the suitable solvent. As here in this example, you need to prepare 1, 5, 10, 25, 50 and 100 microgram per liter calibration standards from the stock standard. You have only the stock standard 100 milligram per liter. So you will prepare at the beginning intermediate standard 10 milligram per liter serial dilution. 10 milligram per liter in 10 ml. Better to use this, no need to use 100 ml volume, just 10 ml will be enough because it will be used for a long time and you need to always refresh this. So 10 milligram per liter in 10 ml from 100 milligram per liter. So we need to add 1 ml from this standard plus 9 ml from the suitable solvent you selected. Then from 10 milligram per liter you will prepare 1 milligram per liter. 1 milligram per liter in 10 ml also. From 10 milligram per liter also you need to add 1 ml. So 1 ml standard, intermediate standard, 10 milligram per liter plus 9 ml suitable solvent you selected. And from 1 you can start preparation of your calibration standards. You don't need to go for less because first highest one is 100 microgram per liter. So you will start by 100 microgram per liter. Multiply 2, you will prepare calibration standards in 1 ml HPLC vial. So in 1 ml from 1 milligram per liter, the intermediate standard, this one. So you need to add 100 microliter. 100 microliter from this standard plus 900 microliter from the solvent you used. Then 50 microgram per liter, 50 microgram per liter in 1 ml from also 1 milligram per liter intermediate standard. You need to add 50 microliter plus 950 microliter from the solvent. Then you need to prepare 25 same thing, and you will add 25 microliter plus 975 957 7975 microliter solvent. And after that, from these standards, you will prepare the lowest concentration. As example, 10 will be prepared from 100, 5 will be prepared from 50, and 1 will be prepared from 10. You already prepared 100 microgram per liter by adding 100 microliter standard 1 milligram per liter intermediate standard plus 900 microliter solvent. 50 same thing, you add 50 microliter plus 950. 25 plus 25 plus 975 microliter. And from these concentrations, as I said before, you will prepare, as example here, you will prepare 10 microgram per liter in 1 ml from 100 microgram per liter. So you need to add also 100 microliter from this standard. 100 microliter from 100 microgram per liter plus 900 microliter solvent. And 5 microgram per liter, this is serial dilution from 50. Better to prepare from the nearest concentration, not to prepare from the highest concentration, because error will increase. 5 microgram per liter in 1 ml from 50 microgram per liter. You need to add also 100 microliter plus 900 microliter. Then 1 microgram per liter, the lowest concentration, you can prepare from 10 microgram per liter in 1 ml. From 10 microgram per liter, also you will add 100 microliter from 10 microgram per liter plus 900 microliter from the solvent. In case of powder standard, very important to select the suitable solvent to dissolve this standard, because if you did not dissolve this standard from the beginning very well, that will affect the concentration of calibration standards, and at the end will affect the result of samples, all samples that you will analyze, and you don't know, because you will have very good calibration curve, because response will be okay according to the concentrations you prepared, but still you did not dissolve the standard well, so the concentration will change. Concentration of the stock standard will change. If you prepare, as example, 1000 microgram per liter or 1000 milligram per liter, this 1000 milligram per liter, if you did not dissolve, it will be, as example, 900 milligram per liter or less. So calibration will be okay, calibration curve will be accepted within acceptable range, but result of the samples will change completely. The equation that will be used to dissolve or to prepare the stock standard from powder standard that you have is like this: weight in gram, weight of the standard in gram, what the weight that you will use it will take from the standard to dissolve, how much you will take from the standard to dissolve, equal to C, which is the concentration required to be prepared. I have a standard and I need to take specific weight from this standard to prepare specific concentration. So concentration that we need to prepare, and we have this, we know this, only the weight we don't know. Multiply to V, volume. In which volume you will prepare? As I said, better to prepare in a small volume, because that will stay with you for long time, and we need to refresh these standards always. Divided by purity multiply purity of the standard, because for the powder standard there will be purity written in the calibration certificate, and better to use primary standard which has a very high purity. Multiply to 10,000 to convert percentage to ppm or milligram per liter. As example here, if you want to prepare from this powder standard, as example 1000 milligram per liter, which is very high concentration. You have the weight, you need to calculate the weight in gram. What is the weight you need to prepare 1000 milligram per liter in specific volume, as example 10 ml, divided by purity, as example 99.9, multiply it to 1 as here. So you will get a specific volume in gram. You will add this volume in flask 10 ml. You will add this volume that you got, this weight that you got to this flask, and complete with the suitable solvent. And as I said, suitable solvent is very important. You should study this before preparation of these standards. For some standard you will find different chemicals or other chemicals combined to the target analyte. So standard may contain water, HCl, or mixed with any other chemical. In this case, the purity is not for this analyte only, but the purity that you will get in the certificate for this analyte combined to this chemical, and you should remove or calculate the exact purity for the compound or target analyte to use after that to know the exact weight that you will take from the standard to prepare the stock standard for your target analyte. So you should calculate the exact purity for the target analyte. As example here, tetracycline hydrochloride. It's not only tetracycline, but tetracycline hydrochloride, so mixed with HCl. So you should calculate the purity of only tetracycline without HCl. First, you will calculate the molecular weight for the compound. Molecular weight of the compound is equal to 480.9, and the purity in the certificate 98%. Then you will calculate molecular weight 480 in 98% purity. You need to calculate the exact molecular weight for tetracycline in 98% purity. So 480.9 multiplied to 98 divided by 100 equal to 471.282 gram per mole. This is the molecular weight of tetracycline in 98%, tetracycline hydrochloride in 98%. Okay, but after that, molecular weight without HCl. Now we will separate HCl from tetracycline. So 480.9 minus 36 molecular weight for the HCl equal to 444.44 gram per mole. Then you will divide to calculate the exact purity of tetracycline without HCl in this standard. 444.44 divided by 471.28 in 98% multiplied to 100, it will be 94.3%, and that will affect too much in the weight that you will take at the end. So you should use this in the other equation. You will weight equal to C, concentration that you need to prepare, as I said, 1000 milligram per liter, multiplied to volume 10 ml, divided by purity will be 94.3. Purity not 98 in this case, but 94.3 for the tetracycline only without HCl. Calibration is very important, and we have many things else also should be explained, and that will be explained in the next one or two lectures. But for today, that was the end of our lecture for today. Thank you, and see you in the next lecture.